When I was a kid, we all we had was the Batman comic books and the 1960s TV series. And there was actually a movie that was made of that as well to help promote the series. I didn't see that one until later, but it actually was I thought it was pretty good myself. I know a lot of people disagree with me. A lot of my friends didn't like it, but it's just so ridiculous that it's hilarious to watch. I mean, Batman running around with a bomb saying some days he can't get rid of a bomb. And then you got the shark repellent and that stupid dehydration thing at the end with all those world leaders. Yeah, all that's ridiculous, but you know what? It's actually a pretty fun film. It has like all the villains in it. You got like Joker and Penguin and Riddler and Catwoman in it. I mean, that's a lot of villains, but it kind of worked for what it was. Like I said, I really wasn't a Batman fan like that much, but like when the 1989 film came out, I remember I really wanted to see it. That was the one with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson. But like I remember when that movie came out, I had the chicken pox. I remember being so upset because I wanted to see that Batman movie because it looked so awesome in the commercials, but I couldn't see it till later because of my chicken pox, and I was like so mad. But yeah, it came out like the worst time. I mean, it's 1989. A lot of cool shit came out in 1989. But when I finally saw it, I saw the film like several times, and I thought the film was really awesome. And the video games that came with it were just as awesome. You got like the NES Batman, which everyone played, but unfortunately, that one I don't think they really watched the movie when they made it because like a lot of the levels didn't really mix with like the movie. But every game has the access chemical plants, but then you had the Genesis version, which I thought was awesome. The music in that game was really sweet. There's even a PC Engine version, the TurboGrafx, which is like an overhead kind of like a puzzler type of deal, I guess. It was a little weird, but I wish they would have released that over here. There was even an arcade game which was really sweet too. But there was a lot of Batman games, based on the film, and they're all pretty sweet. And the movie itself is pretty good too. Unfortunately, I remember when we came home from seeing that movie, my dad thought it was the Joker movie because the whole movie was about the Joker, really. Jack Nicholson, I guess, had a big stake in it, so he was in it for most of the movie and with Batman in there every now and then. But all in all, it was actually a pretty sweet movie. I enjoyed it. And then Batman Returns came out. I think it came out like what, like a couple years later or something. And I remember being feeling like underwhelmed when I walked out of there seeing that one. I went to go see it with like a friend of mine. His name was John Fisher. We both went to go see it. And I just remember us walking out of there. We're just like, hmm, yeah. That one was about Danny DeVito as the Penguin. I thought Danny DeVito did a pretty good job as the Penguin. Still think the best is Meredith, whatever his name, Meredith Burgess, whatever the hell his name was. I can't even think of it. The one that played the Penguin in the 1961s. Um, but anyway, the film uh, it's not as good as the first one, but it's better than the other ones that came out. The soundtrack was still pretty good, and it's still like you can still watch it. It was still a watchable movie, unlike the next two, because Tim Burton kind of bowed out of Batman Returns because they didn't really make enough money off the movie. Something about the Happy Meals too. Like a lot of people just weren't buying stock into it. Like none of the toys were selling. The video games for Batman Returns was cool. The Super Nintendo version was awesome. And there was a Sega CD one that I remember playing, but I don't remember much. But damn, that Super Nintendo version was awesome. Batman Forever came out after that. Joel Schumacher took over for Tim Burton. And I don't really remember too much of Batman Forever except I saw it with my dad, who I saw Batman Returns with. We didn't really have much of an impression on it. It looked like they were trying to be like the old 1960s Batman with it. Jim Carrey plays the Riddler on it. He did a really good job on it, though. I thought Jim Carrey really was like born to play the Riddler. And then you got Tommy Lee Jones, who was overacting like crazy, but he's Tommy Lee Jones, so it's awesome that he even got him in it. But the whole movie itself was just really forgettable. Everyone kind of overacted in it. Val Kilmer was forgettable. Nicole Kidman was hot, but I heard they dubbed her voice in it. Then you got Chris O'Donnell that was in it. Although I like some of his lines that was in it, like "Holy whatever Batman." He's like, "This ground, it's full of holes." That line was pretty good. But like the movie just felt over the top, and I felt like the Joel Schumacher Batman films, the Gotham City didn't really feel like a real city. It really felt like a set. It literally felt like someone just dreamed up this neon city that doesn't exist anywhere in this world. But but it was still not that bad. Just wasn't as good as the first two. So, but I was still excited for Batman and Robin coming out, which is what next Joel Schumacher one. But like I've heard bad things about it, so I didn't really go see it because I've heard how awful it is from like everybody. But it took like a night with me and a bunch of friends and some girl that wanted to go out with me, so I was going out with her and her friend and her date, which was my friend Doug. So we all went out to the dollar show to see Batman and Robin. And at the time, I thought Batman and Robin wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be because it got such bad negative publicity that my expectations were low enough to actually enjoy it. It took me to actually watch it on video because I actually got it on video when it was used to watch it. And the movie is just unwatchable. I could never watch that movie anymore. Um, Arnold Schwarzenegger was a bad choice to play Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze should be a lot scary. Have you ever played Batman Arkham? What's it? Arkham City? I think he was on. He was freaking scary on that one. This one, they just try to make him comical and suitable for the kids. Um, Chris O'Donnell was just annoying throughout the entire movie. I don't even think like his character even changed throughout it. Alicia Silverstone, I thought was okay as Batgirl, but obviously they didn't make another one after this. They had Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy, who overacted. She was a better actress than that. She overacted her part. Then Bane is actually in it. If you forgot Bane was in it, that's okay. Everyone forgot Bane was in it, but he made him look into an idiot. So Batman and Robin actually killed the franchise. They were going to have Batman Triumphant. That was supposed to be the fifth Batman movie that Joel Schumacher was going to make, and they're going to have Mad Hatter in it. I think Robin Williams is going to play Mad Hatter, but they scrapped that one, and then we just didn't have another Batman film for many years. And Batman Begins came out, and I thought Batman Begins was a step in the right direction. I just felt like the movie was just a little slow and forgettable. I like the fact that it had Liam Neeson in it. He was cool. Was it Killian Murphy? I always thought he was an awesome actor, and I liked the Scarecrow character. And like I said, it was a good start. They hint the Joker for Dark Knight. And all Batman Begins to me is just like any other first movie, it's just an introduction. Not really memorable to me, but hey, that was the last Batman film game to come out because he had a Batman Begins that came out for like what PlayStation 2 and GameCube. I never played it, but I heard it was really good. But anyway, Batman Begins, good movie. But then Dark Knight came out, and Dark Knight I thought was really good. Heath Ledger was probably one of the best Jokers. I remember walking it because me and my friends were like, okay, we're gonna find out which one's better, Heath Ledger or Jack Nicholson. And surprisingly, my friend was like Jack Nicholson was better, and I was like, nah, Heath Ledger's better. In fact, he made the movie. If it wasn't for him, that movie would be just as boring as the Batman Begins. I mean, they're both pretty slow and long, but at least this one they had an interesting Joker in it. The famous interrogation scene, like all the scenes that he was in, he pretty much stole the movie, and he really deserved that Oscar. Usually I'd get mad about that, but yeah, he deserved it. So after Dark Knight, I was really, really excited for Dark Knight Rises, but I was really disappointed in that one. I thought that one was horrible. I uh, I went to go see it with a female friend of mine. So we actually made a video on it, but like when I walked out of there, I had some questions like, how the hell did Batman get from that hole that he escaped out of there after he miraculously had his back recover. He had to like recover his back, then climb this wall, and then like he went from that little desert or whatever by that hole, and then he gets back to Gotham City. Like, how the hell did he get back to Gotham City? He just walks back to Gotham City. Like we're supposed to believe that he walked all the way to Gotham City. The whole fight between him and Bane during the daylight, I thought was kind of stupid. And I also hated the fact that he was a pawn, just like he was in Batman and Robin. The Bane character. But I liked how Bane took over the city. I thought that was kind of cool. Um, didn't really like Catwoman too much. I thought she was kind of miscast. And then they had like 15 different endings to that movie, but it ended, thank God. Didn't have to deal with another Batman thing again. Well, then the next one that came out after that was Batman v Superman. and that movie was god awful. Um, that one actually had Doomsday in it, and Doomsday looked like one of those ogres from Harry Potter. But the movie was just like a mess. I went to go and I paid like I think I paid like $40 or whatever for me, my mom, and my friend to go. And I just remember walking out of there like, man, that really sucked. Like it's called Batman v Superman. So Batman and Superman like hate each other throughout the entire movie. And then at the end, when they're fighting, it could have been resolved because the whole fight at the end was basically Lex Luthor Jr., who actually I didn't really mind that character, but like he should have just been like the Riddler or something, or some form of the Joker. Lex Luthor, I don't know about that. But he goes and he tells, was it Superman, that he's got his like mom captive or something, and Superman can just like flash and get her and come out. So I don't understand why he just couldn't get her. But anyway, besides the point. So he has to go and fight Batman or whatever to get save his mom. So he could have told that to him, be like, "Look, man, I gotta fight you because they got my mom, Martha, and oh my God, Martha, her name's Martha, that type of deal." But no, they had to have this fight scene, and it could have been. And I just kept thinking to myself throughout the entire thing, this could have been resolved a long time ago. There's no point in this fight. This is all pointless, and it was. But then they had Wonder Woman at the end, and then they fight, and then she just comes out of nowhere, and they fight this Doomsday thing, and I don't know. And then Superman dies. Like we're supposed like you need a couple more movies to show Superman die. So yeah, that one kind of sucked. And then they showed Batman again in Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad was really disappointing, and all of Batman's scenes in Suicide Squad was pretty disappointing too. That the only good scene on there is when he punched out Harley Quinn. Okay, and then the last Batman movie that came out, as far as this video is concerned, is Justice League. A lot of people hated Justice League. I actually thought that one was okay. And the reason I can see why people hate it because the movie is a mess and it's pretty much borderline garbage. And I understand that. The villain in the movie was not threatening at all. And the stakes aren't exactly all that high. It refers them like a bunch of bugs or something. Like this movie could have been a whole lot better, but I just thought it was okay because compared to the rest of them, you know what? I'll take this one. I liked the characters that they had in it. Like Aquaman was pretty cool. I didn't see the Aquaman movie. The guy that played the Flash, he was pretty fun. And I liked Ben Affleck as Batman. I thought he was pretty decent. And his role in the movie was pretty decent. The reason why I like Justice League because for once they actually had a good, semi-good Superman out of Henry Cavill on that one. Christopher Reeve will always be the best, but at least Henry Cavill was putting forth an honorable Superman performance. But again, these new Batman movies are pretty much abysmal. They're just there to make money and look good, I guess, because you always have that Zack Snyder make these things, and he sucks. But I don't know. Yeah, I prefer the 1989 Batman over Dark Knight Rises, but it changes every time. They're both just about as good. The Batman 1989 and Dark Knight Rises were both just as good. I probably like the 1989 one a little bit more, but that was my Batman review, and stay tuned for more Brian Sucks.